I'm sorry.
You were making money in the WWE, and the fact that you are now willing to do this, people should respect that, because it's not like you're desperate for money. You walked away from something and you're volunteering to get into a really hard sport. Like, I don't see how anybody can not respect that.
Well, there's some people are jealous. Jealousy is a hell of a thing, but I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me.
Well, I'll tell you, you surrounded yourself with you're in the great hands. I mean, I love Duke and that whole team over there. I mean, he's phenomenal. I know with that guy in your corner, man, I mean, you're going in there with a great team. So you definitely have that going for you. So.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, it helps. It's only 90 minutes from Chicago, my hometown, so it's nice that, one day a week I can go home, go to the beach, chill out.
How has the weight stuff been for you? Because in WWE, you don't have to worry as much about the weight, and now you have it's like an exact science. Is that something that you've kind of stayed close to where you have to be, or how do you plan on cutting it if you have to?
Yeah, I'm not super concerned about that. I'm in great shape right now, and I'm hovering around like 190. So if I got to cut to 170, I'll be fine. And I got the time. September 10th it is right around the corner, but time wise, I got the time. I never just eat whole cakes anymore. I used to. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do that in Cleveland after the fight. We'll eat a whole cake together if you guys are going to be there.
Oh, man.
Do you ever question yourself as to why you're doing this? Was there ever a point where you were like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, was there like maybe when you had the surgery, or were you just sitting there going, oh my God, this was a terrible mistake?
No, fuck no. If you think about it, I'm glad I was doing this, because I probably would still be walking around with a herniated disc if I didn't, have the UFC doctors fucking, spot it and take care of it, I jokingly say that sometimes, but it's never serious. I'll be like, oh man, I worked out 5 times today. Why am I fucking doing this? I just want to eat a pizza, But that's really it. There's never anything like I get high kicked and I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? This is stupid. I'm one of those guys that, like I said earlier, there's probably something wrong with me, and I enjoy doing this, and this is my environment, and I'm thriving in it.
Yep.
Do we know who the main event is yet?
Yeah, Stipe and oh God,
Overeem.
Oh my God,
man,
that's right.
Shit, we got to get to that, Jimmy. We got to go do a podcast from there. We got to get to that fight.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to go and watch that fight.
I think they'll do that for us now.
No, I don't know about that. Matt and I are going out to 200, and Fabricio Ben Rothwell. That's the fight. Oh, it's not Stipe. It's
both.
so wait, that's not the main event?
No, it is. The Miocic Overeem is the main event, and then that's also on that card.
No, I'm saying, but Ben Rothwell is not the main event.
No.
Okay. That's having a miscommunication.
That's the co-main? What is that?
Rothwell and
Fabricio Verdum, yeah.
That's interesting, too. Oh, man. Well, it looks like a great card, man, and I'm psyched about your I'm sure you're super psyched about your debut, but a lot of people are, man. It's been a long time coming, and I definitely hear you where you're like, man, you're in a tough spot where you're like, yo, I can't really talk about too much shit because I didn't get in there yet. I totally get what you're saying with that, man, because until you get in there, you feel like you don't want to be, blowing your horn there.
No, absolutely. I can't. What the fuck am I going to say?
Exactly.
But guys have been nice to you. Sorry, guys have been nice to your face. They've said some stuff, and then when you meet them, they're just pleasant, like you're not going to hear what they say.
Yeah, but Twitter's a different fucking world. I get it. There's some guys out there that need to do that to I don't know, get ready for their fight or boost up their status or whatever it is, and it doesn't bother me. Everybody I've hung out with and fucking trained with has been a sweetheart. The nicest guys ever.
And you were close with Chael Sonnen, right? So is he helping you at all with this, or are you talking to him at all?
We text kind of infrequently now. He's busy, new daddy and all that stuff.
Oh, right.
And so I don't know what's going on with him. Like I haven't trained with him, so it'd be something I'd be extremely open to. But no, he's way out on the other side of the earth as far as I'm concerned.
Now, what's the difference between this two? Because again, man, people don't understand that in WWE you're taking very hard hits, and it's a grueling and dangerous sport as well. But what's the mentality difference between going into it with an opponent there and then going into it in the octagon, where there's definitely a different intent or a harsher intent in what your opponent has?
Well, obviously the in wrestling, you're trying to make it look like you're smashing a guy without actually touching him at all.
Right.
And, somebody who was like super, super good at that was Bret Hart. He always made it look like he was killing a motherfucker, and he never was, and there's guys that are really, really good at that, and then there's guys that aren't so good at that. And, so if I'm going into a fight, I got my hands up, some wrestling, I maybe don't have my hands up. There's a chance you might get jabbed in the face, lose a tooth. You don't know what the other guy's going to do sometimes. Some guys are safer than others, is all I'm saying. And, and I've worked my fair share of unsafe guys. And that's not to say that they had the mentality that they were going to go in there and hurt me. Some guys are just clumsy. Fuck, I was a clumsy motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, I was never the most super athletic guy, and sometimes I would do shit, and, I'd fucking wind up hurting myself.
Would you guys ever say to each other in the ring, like, what the fuck was that you just did, or would you wait until after?
Oh, yeah, all the time. and the funny thing about it is sometimes you just laugh about it. There's sometimes I would get hit so hard, and the people you wind up actually beating the shit out of, those are the ones you're friends with.
Oh, really?
I mean? Like, if I was wrestling a guy that I didn't like, I would make sure to go out of my way to not fucking stiff the guy at all. Because then there's a problem. Because then he's like, oh, you did that on purpose. If I fucking clock my friend in the face or kick him in the nuts or, step on his hand or something like that, it's just funny. You can laugh about it afterwards.
What was the moment where you said to yourself, like there had to be a moment where you're watching UFC or you're watching MMA and you go, I want to do that. That I want to move from this to that. And what was that moment for you?
I don't know if I can really peg one specific moment. It's something I've always wanted to do. I've always been fascinated with jiu-jitsu. I used to do Kempo karate out in Shanahan, Illinois, under a guy named Bob Golden, and we had a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I wish I could remember his name, but I can't. And it was the first time I ever saw Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and it was, it was like a fucking magic trick. I'm sure, Matt, you can remember the first time you ever saw it.
100%.
We had Dan Severn come down to train with our black belt because he was getting ready for the super fight against Hoist. So I saw that, and it was always in the back of my head. Like, to me, I was already doing pro wrestling, and that took me in a different direction. You know what I mean? So I obviously I did okay. I did all right in that venture, but once it was over, there was a void. I was like, fuck, I need to do something. And one day my phone rang, and it was Dane and Lorenzo, and they would always needle me when I was at the shows. They would always be like, "You ever think about getting in there?" And I would always say, "Yeah, all the fucking time." Like, it looks like a blast, and things kind of fell in order, and it just kind of happened. But I don't know if there was ever really one big moment. I used to watch all the Pride shows, like all that shit. So I've always been a big fan.
And that Dan Severn versus Hoist fight, that's back at UFC number 4. That's back in the day. I've been like when you say when you first saw jiu-jitsu, did you ever watch? I know you were with the Gracie brothers for a while. Did you ever watch those Gracie in action tapes?
Oh yeah, like the VHSs.
Oh yeah, man. That's
Gym Wars. Yeah.
That's what got me hooked. That's what the Gracie in action 2 is what got me hooked. 'Cause I used to scrap a lot as a kid, and I used to do Wing Chun Kung Fu with my father. But and you know what? Are you familiar with Wing Chun?
Yeah.
At all. You know what? And it looks great. I had a wooden dummy in my garage, and I'd be doing some combat drills with my father, sticky hands. And anytime I got into a street altercation, I'd end up tackling a guy or put his head into my knee and grab it. I mean, I was just a natural grappler, and the wing, it just wouldn't work for me. I'd start with a chain punch, and I'd end up double legging a guy. So that's why when I found these the Gracie in action, I was like, oh my God, you mean with this system, there's no forms or this or that? It's just it's amazing. Oh, hold on. You know what's great when I'm and I got ADD. And I got my producer giving me a thumbs up like we got to get the fuck out of here. No, listen, that's funny shit. That's okay. I can say that.
No, he's just being encouraging.
Now, that's a good thing?
He'll sometimes the producer, CM will look over and just give a little smile and
he gave a fucking thumbs up, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm looking at the clock. It's 30 minutes. I'm like, we gotta.
It's like when you have no balls and 2 strikes, and you look over at your dad and he gives you the thumbs up, like, oh, my son stinks.
You fucked me up, Papa. Anyway,
maybe he misheard you, and he thought you said Wang Chung.
Yeah, Wang Chung. He's chunging it.
Like, fuck yeah.
Wang Chung. That's good. That's great. But anyway, I'm jiu-jitsu's in my blood, man. I had to get in here early this morning. I had to get a roll in because I fucking love it. But I feel bad, man. I don't want to keep you from practice, dude. I know that fight's coming up.
Yeah, I gotta. I'm not in a fucking hurry. I already worked out once today.
Oh, fucking.
What time do you start in the morning?
Normally like at 11. The gym opens at 10:30.
Is it weird, like when people question your dedication, like they think, he's just doing this for whatever, and not realizing exactly what you, and I'm not talking about fighters, but people who don't really, who don't fight, questioning why you're doing this and not understanding what you really have to put into this to be good at it.
The 12-year-olds on Twitter? Yeah, it would be amazing if I was just like, fuck it, and didn't train and didn't learn anything and just ate hot dogs on my couch and just didn't make weight, and I'd still get paid, You know what I mean? I'm working hard. I'm taking this very seriously.
Well, as a kid, Matt was talking about rolling and fighting and street altercations. I had none of them. Were you the type of kid that
Really, you?
I know. Well, that's why I'm funny, because I had a big mouth, but I would quickly joke and get out of it. And I was telling Matt before the show, comedians, the difference between us and fighters is you guys handle things the way we wish we could. Like, I'm only funny because I cannot do what you guys do. So were you a fighter as a kid?
Most of us wish we had your biting humor.
Exactly.
You don't need it. You have a right hook. Believe me. Fuck biting humor.
Cut their wrists with my words like you do, when I was a kid, I was like you. I had the biggest mouth. I used to get the shit beat out of me, and I would never stop talking shit. You know what I mean? It's just the way it was. Like, I figured, they're not gonna be able to get me to stop talking. They can blacken my eye, but big fucking deal, that'll go away. And I was more comedian than fighter when I was a kid, for sure.
Oh, so you like that high of getting a laugh? You understand what that's about? That how good that feels?
No, absolutely. Yeah, you controlling an audience is. There's an art to it, and it is very much a drug, for sure. Well,
your mic technique in WWE, I'm always amazed at what great communicators and talkers professional wrestlers are, because first of all, most of that is improv, isn't it? When you're standing there and whoever Vince was interviewing you, you're pretty much improving whatever it is you're saying.
Yeah, I think the good ones, the interviews and the promos people remember, those are improv. Now wrestling is just overscripted to death, and it's almost like they got a chokehold on it. And some guys need to operate that way, and I feel like some people need to let loose and be themselves. You know what I mean? Like, you got a whole room of guys writing for you. They don't know you. They don't know where you're coming from. They don't know your perspective or your character and stuff like that. And if you're out there being disingenuous, saying words that 3 other people wrote, I always felt that the crowd could tell, and then they're gonna pay attention to their phones, or they're gonna shit on the whatever segment you're in. So yeah, I was always a big fan of just kind of doing my own thing. Did
you ever start really falling apart in the middle of one, like you're delivering it and you're like, oh no, and then you're just totally fucking it up? You must have had one where you're like, oh, I stink.
Oh yeah, I wrestled for so long, like even before WWE, that's how you learn. You know what I mean? Like I relish those failures, because that's how you learn. Like, oh shit, I totally screwed up. I let that guy, it's like letting a heckler get the best of you. You know what I mean? Like, crap. Like, I let that guy get the better of me. I can either pack it up and never do this again, or I can learn from that mistake, and the next time somebody heckles me, I can fucking crush them.
I've gotten beaten by a few hecklers in my life. It's humiliating. I remember one time I was doing a gig in Wildwood, New Jersey, and I was new. It was 1992, and this guy was heckling the shit out of me, and he was fucking destroying me. And afterwards, I talked to him. He kept, in the middle of my act, he's like, stand up! And the whole crowd laughing at me because I'm short. And he was just like one of those guys who was hammering me. And it turns out he was a dunk clown. Like, that was what he did for a living, was he sat there and heckled people professionally. So I had my asshole ripped out by a dunk clown in front of an audience.
Wow.
It's humiliating.
They all pricks, those dunk clowns.
Oh, yeah. They're the worst.
Right?
All right, CM, we appreciate it very much, man. And congratulations. I'm happy that you're healthy. And it's September 10th, right?
Yeah, September 10th in Cleveland.
Against Mickey Gall is your UFC debut, and it is actually happening.
It is actually happening. Who fucking knew?
Well, I'm happy, man. I'm happy for you. And anyone that was questioning your intent is just ridiculous to not understand exactly what you were doing to get ready for this fight.
Fuck them. They'll still question it. You know what I mean? We'll just worry about what's in front of me and worry about myself, and everything else will fall into place. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Of course, man.
You guys ever need me on for anything else, let me know. I'll be at 200 too, so maybe awesome. We can, have a powwow.
Yeah, it'd be nice, man. We'll be out there, so I'd love to see you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sam. I appreciate it.
No worries, guys. Have a good day.